Hello, all few of you. How are you guys doing? Yeah. Like, the audience is so small, we could just all have name tags and talk to each other all night. My name is Dan, and I have a problem. Oh, man. So, welcome, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Supporting this little thing that we're trying to do in Erie with DIY comedy. You could be at home smoking pot right now, but you're here with us, so I appreciate you. Or at the Erie Best Rapper competition with little I live in my mom's basement and I tried meth once. It's going to be a barn burner, guys. Oh, man. I don't know if you guys can tell this, but I dressed myself today. I call this Reformed Meth Addict, now Westboro Baptist preacher. Side note, have you ever seen a house that's right across the street from Westboro Baptist Church? It's just rainbows and dicks. It's great. Man. Oh, so anybody else see that Erie's going downhill? Somebody had to be removed from the top of a roller coaster on Monday. Yeah. For those of you that aren't from Erie, we have a little place called Waldameer that's right over there. That's really old and probably should have been shut down a while ago. Somebody decided to climb to the top of one of the roller coasters, I guess, and probably did heroin. Who knows? Well, I'm high enough. Might as well get a little higher. And of course, it's a white person that did that. Like, you know, there's no black person in the city of Erie that's like, well, I could just get high on the ground. Oh, man. So, let's see, what else? What else? Since I'm just killing it so hard. Yeah, that's right, the White People Hotel. So, figure since we're all personal, try some new stuff here. I feel like I know everybody. It's not like I'm going to get thunderous applauses for anything, so, you know. Going to try my new strip. Oh, thank you. I haven't even stripped yet, guys. Thank you. Oh, man. I'm just so fat and hairy, you guys be like, is there even a penis on there? No, not really. Oh, my wife has this cute nickname for me, Uno Poquito, and she always does this motion, so I don't know what that means. Oh, it sounds cute though, right? Yeah, I'm doing something right. It's always like, uno poquito. Oh, man. So, I have a lot of anger. I know I don't look like an angry person, but I get pissed off at stupid shit. Like a normal red-blooded American. Like when people use "in my humble opinion" on Facebook. I'm sorry, if you've read the definition of humble, then you want to be sharing your opinion with thousands, if not all of the strangers. Like, shut up, Karen, you insignificant housewife. And Karen's not insignificant because she's a housewife. She's an anti-vaxxer, and she just joined a flat earth group because she's curious. Oh, man. Because we all know polio is better than autism, right? I mean, we're in the year 2019, and one of our states is in a state of emergency because of fucking measles. Are you serious? Oh my God. I almost wish that our scientists would create something that would just allow this horrible disease to die. Because I don't see kids with polio or whooping cough. I wonder why there's a reason for that. Oh my God. So, you guys want to get this show started? Yeah?
Your show. Run it how you want.
Okay. Cocaine and hookers. Deal.
All right.
All right, so this first guy coming up to the stage, he's actually a really good friend of mine. He's the co-founder of our little thing called Fubar Comedy. He's a pretty good friend of mine, and he's very funny. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Ayers.
Yeah. All right, awkward little dance with the microphone cable there. I like it. I like it. How you guys doing tonight? Make some noise. You came out. I'm glad to see all your happy, smiling faces. Dealing with death is awkward, right, guys? Yeah, like super awkward. I lost my father recently. All right, well, I didn't lose him. He was exactly where I left him, at the hospital. He died recently, and you know, it's a natural part of life. I understand that. Okay, people live, they die. I get it. What I don't understand and what I don't get is how we express sympathy towards people dealing with the loss of a loved one. Like, people say the dumbest things. For example, I'm sorry for your loss. To me, that's just an admission of guilt. Like, I'm sorry for your loss, man. Why'd you friggin' do it, you murderer? It's my dad. I loved him. What did he ever do to you? Like, yeah, but just people say the dumbest things. His last words to me, he died as a result of massive stroke. Like, he had some complications for the last couple of years of his life. But his last words to me were, things don't always seem like how it be they do be, but it do be like that. Yeah, I still haven't cracked that riddle. So if you guys have any answers, let me know, please. That just blew my mind. I was like, okay, what? No, so I dated a girl who suffered from multiple personality disorder. That was pretty cool for a little bit, not gonna lie. Like, her mood swings were pretty violent and intense. Like, she'd be cool one minute and then the next minute she's freaking. It was like girlfriend roulette. Like, it was fun, all right? So, it was even more fun because I only had to buy her dinner, but she gave me group sex for dessert. Awesome, good deal, right? Yeah, great deal. But like I said, she had like those really violent mood swings, and you never knew who you were going to deal with from one minute to the next. So, like Dan said, you know, we're pretty familiar. We saw a lot of you guys out there, so I'm gonna let you in on a little bit of this goings down. So she was goings down on me once, and she had a knife fetish. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but they play with knives while they're doing some sexual. I don't get it. It's weird. She actually cut me really deep, and then she got mad at me for going limp. Like, yo, you diverted the blood flow, not me. Plus, to be honest, the sight of my own blood just makes me pass out. Like, I didn't expect it. So obviously, you know, I had to break things off with her. And she made my life hell for years afterwards. All right? It was crazy. Like, she'd show up at my job crying and apologizing, and then a minute later she'd be swearing and swinging a knife. So I'm like, yo, I need a sign. How do I fix this situation? And at that moment I saw a yard sign that said just gutter. And I'm like, well, that escalated quickly. Hey, so I heard you like knife play. No, I mean, once they catch me, you know, I'm facing 25 to life. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't really kill her. One of her crazy personalities got the best of her, and she died doing what she loved, heroin. Yeah, I know. It took me by surprise too, because I'm a keep it green kind of guy. I don't mess with needles or pharmaceuticals because I don't really like doctors. Anybody else? You guys love doctors now? All right, this dude is married to a doctor, so you're out. All right. But no, it's not the fact that I don't like doctors, it's the fact that I don't like their terminology. For example, medical practice? I'm sorry, but if there's something wrong, I consider myself like the Super Bowl. All right, maybe not this past Super Bowl, because that was a flaming dumpster fire, but the Super Bowl. Don't show up with your practice squad. You better bring your pros. You know what I'm saying? All right? So, for a while, I was having like these really chronic stomach pain. Now, when I say chronic, I don't mean I'd get so high that my munchies would give me a stomach ache. I mean, it was constant. It was there more often than not. You know, like rain in Seattle or herpes. It was just constantly there. So I scheduled an appointment, and the doctor was like, "So you're having some stomach problems. It sounds like it could be a problem with your prostate. So well, why don't you go ahead and drop your pants and I'm going to sneak a peek." All right, first thing, if it was a problem with my prostate, generally I would have trouble urinating. And trust me, doc, I'm firing on all cylinder. It's not a problem with my prostate. Second off, drop your pants so we can sneak a peek. Do you even work here? I'm going to need to see your ID, all right? So against my better judgment, I dropped my pants and I let him sneak a peek. Oh, and sneak a peek he did. And then some. All right. So I get in the position, and he's like, "All right, buddy, you feel a little bit of pressure. You just go ahead and relax." I felt the pressure, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is cool." And after what seemed like an eternity, and a really long, uncomfortable, awkward silence, he breaks that silence by screaming. Ooh. I don't even want to look. Why is this man behind me with his finger in me screaming? But curiosity got the better of me, so I had to turn and see what was going on. And as I turn around, this guy had 3 fingers, all right? Like, I'm not even joking. He was, just screaming. And I'm like, oh my God, because I can still feel the pressure. My brain is trying to process what has just happened. And he's like, I'm just kidding, bro. That's the thermometer. Why would you do that, man? So after a couple minutes, I was like, "So doc, during your whole fucking debacle back there, did you happen to find anything that might explain why I've been having these really bad stomach aches?" He was like, "Actually, no, I didn't really find anything. Have you been under a lot of stress recently?" This guy. Dude, you make me believe you lose your finger in my butthole, and then you have the audacity to ask if I've been under a lot of stress recently. Gee, I don't know, doc. There is one instance, but I can't quite put my finger on it. In all seriousness, he looks me dead in the face and goes, "Haha, me neither, bro." Dude. You're the greatest doctor ever. Sign me up next month. Let's go. Another appointment. It was awkward. It was funny. I loved it. If any of you guys want his name, come see me after the show. I'll hook you up. I'm just kidding. I won't rat out my friends. So, got really quiet. I like it. And you broke it. You broke the silence. I don't like it. You guys seen any good movies lately? We're in the movie house. This is the perfect place to talk about it. Have you seen any good movies? This is the participation round. This is an all play.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. I haven't seen that yet. I heard it was great, and I'm looking forward to it. I heard there were a couple good animated, like the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie. Anybody? No? This guy. All right. I was going to say, I just outed myself as a nerd. I'm done talking. No, I feel like Hollywood is just out of ideas. I haven't really seen anything really good lately that captivated me. Just for example, I watched The Jackal earlier with Bruce Willis. Great movie. No punchline for that. Just figured I'd let you guys know The Jackal is a great movie. But no, I feel like my childhood is just being ruined. Have you guys seen any of the Transformers movies? Yeah, oh my God, Michael Bay had zero idea of anything Transformers. So you mean to tell me little 5'1" Shia LaBeouf is gonna outrun a 50-foot tall robot? Was his mom a friggin' cheetah? No, dude, this thing can turn into a jet. Get out of here, Michael Bay, you GoBots fan. If any of you guys like the GoBots, there's nothing wrong with store brand. We all have to settle for it from time to time. Didn't mean to offend. I actually told that down in Pittsburgh once, and some guy got up and he was like, "The fuck?" and just left. I said GoBots, didn't trash it. He was just like, "Man," and left. Okay, bye. Have fun. But no, he's just absolutely. I wish time travel was a real thing. That's what I'm trying to say. If I had a time machine, I wouldn't go back and do anything noble. I wouldn't try to stop Hitler. I'm one dude. He's got a whole army. I wouldn't try to stop Mao. Same thing. One dude, whole army. No. I'm going to go back and I'm going to stop Michael Bay from destroying my childhood. Like, what's next? Like, all he did was take things I love and destroy them. What's next? 3 men taken captive, forced to fight to the death on an alien arena. A geologist fighting his own personal demons. A journalist about to break the story of his lifetime. And a tailor hiding a deadly secret. Who will survive? Rock, paper, scissors. Directed by Michael Bay. No! I will leave you on this one, and I'm just gonna ruin a lot of movies for you folks. So, Real Steel, you guys watch that?
Yep.
Yeah! Rock'em Sock'em Robots, right, guys? Any of the Saw movies, 1 through 38, because there's like 500 of those movies. Yeah, that was Operation. Yeah, they just went from breadbasket in the stomach and water on the knee to key behind the eye. All right, guys, my name is Will Ayers. You guys have yourselves a great night. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Will Ayers, everybody. All right, we're going to just keep this going, keep you guys entertained. Bringing up our next comic. He came all the way from Pittsburgh. Very funny guy. He's creating a lot of buzz on the scene down there. Jeff Fieldhouse, everybody.
How you guys doing? Doing good? So my name's Jeff Fieldhouse. I'm 23 years old. I have a baby face, as you can tell, which means I get carded everywhere I go, which honestly wouldn't be a big deal, besides the fact that my birthday's on Christmas. So then it just turns into one big shitstorm in front of my face every time. I was at 7-Eleven buying a pack of cigarettes. Cashier looks at my ID and goes, "Ugh, Christmas baby. That must suck. I bet you get ripped off by everyone." I'm like, all right, asshole, is this really how we're starting this encounter? You know? I didn't walk in here like, ugh, working at 7-Eleven at 2 in the morning, huh? That must suck. Yeah, and you smell like shit. Not surprised you work here, okay? But no, we're just going to be a civilian and buy cigarettes. Another thing about having a young face is people love to instantly come up to me and tell me how great my future's going to be, which is pretty cool. They'll walk up to me and be like, "Hey, buddy, hang in there. I know it sucks right now. 10 to 20 years, you're going to be thriving." It's like, "Hey, Dick, I wasn't worried till now, okay? What the fuck, do I look like a gremlin? You keep bringing up 10 to 20 years, what, do I evolve like a Pokemon to a regular human in society? Like, what happens?" If you're really paying attention to me, you realize I have a receding hairline, something that doesn't work with the future, okay? You can't have an iPhone face and a flip phone hairline, alright? Shit doesn't add up, alright? I'm at a party trying to sing Future, my hairline's interrupted with Shaggy every time. It's fucking weird. My friend hits me up for the next party. He's like, "Jeff, you can come, but wear a fucking hat, alright? Jesus Christ, you're bringing us all down." Yeah, this place is actually pretty nice compared to most places I perform. Most places I perform look like they're on the show Bar Rescue. You guys want to watch any of that? Yeah, I love the show, but it ruined ordering bar food for me, which sucks because that's like all that I can really afford. So the other night I was out eating wings, and as soon as she took my order, I instantly heard his voice in my head. I'm like, "What are you doing? There's rat shit in the grease." I'm like, "Oh my god." "Can you come back? Cancel. I just have fresh beer from the tap." "They haven't cleaned the tap since 2003. Get the fuck out." Wow, I'll just have a dildo in my check. I'm just gonna fuck myself. This is a horrible night. No, nothing you did. It's all on me. All internal. It's horrible. I actually had a big dick moment at a bar recently. I don't get a lot of those, so I'll describe it. The way it was the toilet was right here, the door was right there, which any contractors in the building, can we change that setup? Maybe door right here? Vulnerable fucking setup every time. It's like I'm walking on stills. It's horrible. Back to the joke, that was just bitching. So I was taking a piss in midstream. This girl opens up the door and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry." And I was like, "It's cool." Close the door. I thought I handled that like I had a huge cock. Okay? "It's cool." What am I, James Bond? I didn't even flinch. It was awesome. I'm not saying I have a small dick, but I was expecting my reaction to be a little different, you know? Like me taking a piss, her opening up the door, and me being like, "Get out, bitch," and pissing on her, you know? Guess that's why you don't trust your gut instinct and piss on people, you know? Learn a little bit every day. Every day. Yeah, I'm millennial, and a lot of people talk shit on millennials, but one thing that freaks me out is that we're actually fucking up the ecosystem. and no one's talking about it. Because, believe it or not, millennials don't know how to shit, guys. It's fucked up. I know what you're saying, Jeff, aren't you a millennial? Yeah, but like hand-me-down clothes, I had hand-me-down shit technique from my older brothers and sisters, alright? Squat and push the American way. Squat and push, sir. I saw you flinching a little bit. It's squat and push, alright? Door's right there if you don't believe me. It's fine. No, I'm just picking on you. You didn't do shit. But yeah, but millennials these days, before they can even sit down, they need a 32-inch screen TV, Wi-Fi, and a Fortnite connection before they can push. My little cousin's Wi-Fi went out for a week, and he was constipated for a week. That's not even a joke. That's just fucked up. They took him to Children's Hospital. As soon as he got a hint of Wi-Fi, shit his pants on sight. $50 hospital fee, $150 cleanup fee. I'm not about hitting children, but that kid should be murdered. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say here. Guess what the joke ends is it shouldn't affect the water bill and electric bill every time you take a shit. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah, I know. A lot of my friends like to look up celebrity net worths. You guys ever do that? Like how much a celebrity's making? He always just like likes to brag in my face. Like he's like, hey, do you realize the Jonas Brothers only have 10 mil each? What are they gonna do? I don't know, John. You have $250 in your bank account, and you still owe me for $5 movie night. So, what the fuck are you gonna do, man? Why even bringing them up? Or look on their IMDb, see how many movies they've been in. He's just like, oh man, this actor's only starred in 2 movies this year. His career's on the ropes. Like, John, you jerked off for a week because you're in the background of a carpet commercial. Okay? 2 movies is great on that scale, you psycho. Alright? I don't even know why I'm bringing this up. Yeah, a lot of my friends like to use social media to make themselves look like the shit when they're like shitty people, which doesn't make sense, you know? They have like that robot reader to see if you're a robot, but they should have that reader to see if you're a piece of shit so you like can post good stuff, you know? Just so you can see the real person. Like my one friend put that he's a public figure influencing the public. I'm like, no, John, you're a bad boy John Eagle, okay? The only thing you might influence is the produce, but that's going to at least take like a year to upgrade. That's a hard job, 11 an hour. I tried to get it, okay? I'm doing it. You're not doing it. Like the other day he was cashing me out and he's like, hey man, you should check out my motivational post. Like, hey man, you should check out the eggs. You just put the fucking milk on top of it, okay? I don't give a fuck about your online presence. I give a fuck about your real presence. And that's dwindling. It's only because I'm here. Okay? I don't know. Any Steeler fans here? Any Steeler fans? He just did a grunt like, oh, fuck. Wife died of Steeler game. Hit home, fuck, sorry. Heinz Ward of all people? It's because he's bald? Oh, he's black. Jesus Christ, alright. That one left. Jesus Christ. He's half. You know, my roommate loves the Steelers, but it's almost to a fault. Like, after their last loss, he broke our bathroom door. Which, like, what the fuck, man? You're a psycho at this point. Like I said to him, hey, how about instead of buying that new Juju jersey, you buy a week's worth of therapy, you psycho? What's going on up there? He's like, what do you mean, Steeler fans getting therapy? That's ridiculous. We're as strong as the steel we used to build. I'm like, all right, well, if you're going by that, your dad, who used to build steel, cried this past Sunday because a grown man didn't throw a ball right. Okay? Dad's not strong, he's sad and broken. Okay? And your mom didn't want to bring it up, but she's a fucking slut. Okay? Doesn't take 2 hours to make a pot roast, she's across the street sucking dick. Okay? Jesus, okay. I'm just kidding, yeah. So I actually quit smoking cigarettes 2 years ago, so that first joke was a lie, but hey, comedy. Let's have some fun real quick. The thing I noticed ever since I quit smoking cigarettes is I don't respect a lot of the cigarette smokers my age around me, because they don't really deserve it, you know? The type of cigarette smokers I respect are like the older guys that hit it like a joint in Vietnam, and like every hit matters, just like, this fucking mortgage is gonna kill me. My wife wanted to buy a pool for the backyard. I said, your fat ass will use it once and you're gonna ruin the grass. She fucking bought it on her lunch break. I'm a drowner in that pool. This is just conversation I overheard my neighbor saying this morning, so feel free to laugh, but I'm scared. Okay? I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. But no, a lot of my friends that smoke, they don't deserve it, you know? Every hit's just like, the bitch mom won't even let me smoke a fucking joint in the house. Goddamn bitch. So I can go in the garage, but I'm pretty much outside at that point, you know? I'm gonna sit in it. I know it wasn't funny. I'm not gonna escape. It's fine. been in enough escape rooms and failed to know what it feels like? Sitting there with your aunt, like it was her idea for a GoFundMe. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, Aunt Martha. You know me. Is this fun? I failed math twice. Is this fun? Fucking escape room, $40, and that's with the coupon. Yeah, Jesus, man. Or that axe throwing. I'm just waiting for the time where it comes back and hits him in the leg. It's always the one friend that could like never throw anything, and now you want to throw an axe. Like, try a baseball, and then an axe. Right? What the fuck? All right, yeah, that. I don't know where I'm going with that, so I'm gonna go back into jokes. And you guys like Halloween music? Halloween music fans? I guess it'd be weird if someone was like, "Fucking hey, man, Halloween music." You know, I don't like Halloween music because it doesn't really match the vibe. You know, I like Christmas music. It's comforting. It's cool. You know, but Halloween music, it's not scary. You know, I've never been scared by the Monster Mash, but I have been scared by like a Slipknot song where they're screaming, "I'll find your family and kill you." You know. Silver lining is if you play it backwards, he's actually saying, "Dad, answer my emails. I love you. You're a therapist. I thought you picked this up." So I actually just moved in with my girlfriends who were sleeping in the same bed. Humble brag, huh? So, and one thing I realized that I sweat in my sleep, and I didn't know because I didn't like to bitch at myself, you know. So how would I know, you know? But she knows, and she likes to tell me, which is fun. And I get real defensive when I know I'm not sweaty, you know, because it's just like a thing. You know you're not sweaty, and even to the point where I start to flex, and I don't flex, but like when it comes to not being sweaty, I'm like, I'm not fucking sweaty, you know. It's not me. But the other night, I went to go to the bathroom, and I took a piss, and on my way back in, I jumped in the bed, and she's just like, "Jeff, you're sweaty." Here's the thing. I knew I wasn't sweaty. I just didn't jingle my dick all the way, so some piss made it into the bed. Hey, we've all been there, right? Yeah, exactly. So in that moment, I decided to scream, "It's not sweat, it's piss." Which I don't know in what world that's better, and I don't have an ending to that joke. I just need to let it out, okay? It's felt like a safe space where I could say that, okay? And also a weird drive home, so my girlfriend's here. I guess I'll end on this. I'm home alone a lot more often now, like whenever people are at work, and I wasn't before. And how many guys, when you're home alone and sneeze, you wait a couple seconds after to hear if the ghost is like, "God bless you." Then if you didn't hear anything, you're like, "This house is haunted? Fuck that ghost. I'm glad he's dead, alright?" I mean morals. Alright, thanks guys. I'm Jeff.
Jeff Fieldhouse, everybody. Yeah, did you guys enjoy that? Yeah, was that $10 worth of comic or no? Okay, good, because we got more. Our next one also came all the way up from Pittsburgh, but he's also left his reserve unit in the middle of the drill weekend to be here. So ladies and gentlemen, laugh real loud for Matt Parsons.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. How you guys doing? Thanks for coming out and supporting live comedy, man. It's a big deal. We're out here in Erie. I know maybe you have a lot of other options to be at tonight, but you came here, and I appreciate that. I was actually late getting here because my wife and I went to look for bomb collar residue on Peach Street from that bank robbery you guys had going up here. Turns out we really like Netflix documentaries. Anyone else into Netflix documentaries? Yeah, that was a rousing. Okay, so my wife's only into the murders though, so it's like Casey Anthony, Ted Bundy, god damn it, the smiley face killer happened right in Pittsburgh. Don't walk alone in Pittsburgh at night, dudes. And so it's getting weird because my wife won't leave the house. It's not even a house, it's a 1-bedroom apartment with 3 cats. So she's locked in there in a cat fortress, and it turns out that I have a drinking problem. So we got a lot of stuff going on in Pittsburgh. As Dan said, I'm in the Army Reserve. Thank you for the wave of disappointment across your face. My mother did the exact same thing. Don't worry about it. I went to Iraq in 2008. I had a job where I went and spoke with local politicians. And I met a mayor by the name a pimp of bitches. That was a literal translation of his name from English to Arabic. This was 2008, ladies and gentlemen. Turns out Iraqis understood democracy way fucking better than we do, all right? They knew who to elect. They're like, he's got money, he's got women, we love him, come on. Has anyone seen like The Hurt Locker or any of the military movies? There's always these characters, they're all infantrymen, they have rifles, you know, they're jacked. I would have to go out with those guys to these meetings. And when Mayor Pimp of Bitches is handing out water, guess who has to drink the water? Turns out I'm Mikey from a Life Breakfast cereal commercial. You know what that gives you? The gift that keeps on giving. I would shit myself, ladies and gentlemen, in front of my boss, in front of my friends, co-workers. In the Army, no one cared. They understood because I had to drink the water. That was my job. You know where you can't shit yourself, ladies and gentlemen? In the payables department of a trucking company when you come home and get a job in the civilian world. My boss, Misty Peters, a very mild-mannered lady sitting to my right, and some lady who I can only describe as the goddamn devil to my left. Anyone work in an office? What's your understanding of evil people that are there? Just wait. This lady on my left, I swear to God, she would wake up at 5:30 in the morning to throw a burlap sack of puppies in a river, pick up a family-sized bag of Hormel pepperoni and licorice, cruise on into the office about 6:30 and make everyone's life a living hell for the rest of the day. That was awesome. And turns out my wife wanted me to lose weight, so she slipped some diuretics into my lunch. Whoo! Yep, shit myself right there on the floor. I got Misty Peters looking at me like, come on, Matthew. I got this lady behind me. She's like, something smells. I look left. I look right. And I say, go fuck yourself. I'm a combat veteran. And I lost that job in the most patriotic fashion you can lose a job. God damn it. I love this country. So, I tried something the other month. I tried something fun. Tried being sober. And I learned a lot. First week, started getting healthier. Started jogging for no reason. The second week, I learned that I had been married for the last 2 years. It was eye-opening. I learned a lot. So we're in marriage counseling. That's where you can go work out your issues. But it turns out you don't really talk about anything. You kind of argue to the tune of $145 per hour. I don't know if you guys know that. I got in an argument with my wife the other day about what to name the child that we're not even trying to have. She wants to name it after her grandfather, Valentino. And I'll be goddamned if I name my child after a guy who stole money from the mob just to move to Monessen, PA. Has anyone been to Monessen? It's a steel mill and like one Italian restaurant and a museum from the 1960s. Do you want to look at shit from the 1960s? It's called eBay. You can buy all that shit. It's really easy. So it's rough though. It's like I can't even afford marriage counseling, let alone a lifetime supply of fedoras and fucking violin cases for my mobster boy to fucking carry around. The big issue though is that my wife, she wants me to act like we're on our first Tinder date. And I don't have the energy. 33 years old, working 3 jobs, I'm up to 3 5-hour energy shots per day. I've got a mild case of irritable bowel syndrome. Anybody been there? Woo! Who is in a relationship here? Who is in I got one, I got half a hand, I got, strong hand in the back, sir. Yes. It doesn't get any better. No, I'm teasing, it does. But it was weird. I'm 33. I went on a walk with my wife the other day, and it looked like the beginning of a Cialis commercial. But I can't afford Cialis, so it's more like a XXX Bighorn Black Rhino Dick Pill commercial. You're trying to get it like a dodgy inner city Kogos. Ma'am, are you familiar with the selection of dick pills these days? It is amazing. You could get Boss Rhino. You could get Rhino 69. You could get Rhino MD. You can get one that's simply called Tiger. You can get one that's called Rhino 12, and that one has no headaches. So whatever that means, I don't know. And it's basically for the guy who wants to slam it home but still get a 2-for-1 on Mountain Dews. You know what I mean? Like it's a long drive. I read an article recently, though, about a scientist who's created a dick implant to where you can just get hard. You can, like, hit a button and get hard, which I'm sure the dick pill lobbyists are worried about. But more so, I'm worried about, like, the aftermarket parts that would come with that dick attachment. You know what I mean? You just have some guy spinning his dick around like, look, it looks like Jesus, just give it a second. You guys have never seen those, like in a tire? You can make Trump Tower, whatever you want, whatever picture. It can happen. I did a solid for my wife the other day. I shaved my balls. Anyone had to shave their genitals recently? You did, sir. Gravitas. All right. So, but this was particularly a difficult situation because I had it was like a playoff period going, right? First Penn Stanley Cup. Then they doubled up on cups. That's year 2. Then they went close, and I still held out hope. And then the 4th year, my wife's like, you gotta shave your fucking balls, dude. This is like a Brillo pad. I could do dishes with this thing. My dick looked like an extra from Where the Wild Things Are. Is that what that movie's called? Where that kid wears pajamas the whole time and doesn't get a goddamn job. What's going on in that film? Yeah, it was rough. And so, we love to go on walks, and I'm going on a walk. I have sweatpants on, right? And I got this old lady. She drives by in a Lexus SUV, and I'm starting to get the growth. You know what I mean? You shave, you get that growth. You're like, oh fuck, you start itching, and this lady makes boom laser beam eye contact with me, and she thinks I'm itching my balls for her. Well, fuck you, lady. You know what I mean? I could just itch my balls on my own. Who do you think you are making your commute to wherever the fuck you're going? You ever been there? You've been there? You just told me you shaved your dick. Maybe you scratch your balls in front of somebody?
Oh yeah, all the time.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a nurse.
Oh, fuck yeah, you scratched your balls in front of doctors, patients, insurance reps, the people who sell dick pills to gas stations. You've fucking been there.
Yeah.
We had a Steeler joke the last set, and did we in fact have Steeler fans in here or no? Not fucking one. Erie, who's your football team?
Green Bay.
Fuck you, Green Bay. It's like Bridgeville down in Pittsburgh next to a football stadium. You ever been there? They don't even have a fucking Red Lobster. What the fuck are you talking about? I actually met a very famous Steeler. I was traveling through Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I just bought a bag of pancake mix from the Cracker Barrel, and I come out and I recognize this guy, and I say, would you sign this bag? And he looked at me and he said, take that janky-ass bag of Kenny Rogers gingerbread mix out of my face. My employee code is 0084. The crust of the month is hand-tossed garlic. No one out-pizzas the Hut. And he got in his Porsche, and he drove down the road at 110 miles an hour, and I haven't seen Antonio Brown since. And I miss him, you know what I mean? Because he cares about the little people. You don't know who Antonio Brown is? Like, go fuck yourself, Erie. This joke does fine in Pittsburgh. And you guys are like, oh, look, Green Bay, oh, we got a lake over here. This is amazing. No, I'm kidding. You guys have been fantastic. I'm Matt Parsons. Have a great night.
Matt Parsons, everybody. Yeah. Guys feel like you got your $10 worth yet? No? Got to bring up another one? Okay. Well, this guy, he's a local, but he cut his comedy teeth down in Philadelphia. He's an Annenborough native, ladies and gentlemen, Casey Kuftick.
Yo, I've been waiting so long to get up here. Does anyone have any Pepto? Seriously, ladies got purses. Any Pepto in the audience? Oh shit, yeah, that was a good idea. I should have asked him. Been holding it in all night. I'm in rough shape right now. You don't find that funny though. That's okay. Give it up for Erie Movie House for letting us do comedy in here. I think it's great. It's a very pure feeling that we can do dick jokes in a room where most 8-year-olds have their birthday party. It's exciting. I tell you a little bit about who I am. I don't believe in living with regrets, but I have 14 tattoos, so I kind of have to. I have some very regrettable mistakes on my body forever. One of them I got because I wanted to look tough. I was on tour with my friend's band, and I got an anchor with a heart on top of it on the inside of my ankle. And already nothing about that is tough. And the meaning behind it is it was free. That was the only thing that meant to me at the time. That's what I thought until I was laying with my girlfriend and she looked at it and she was like, "Oh my God, is that an anchor with a heart on top of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" She's like, "That's the DG logo, like Delta Gamma, my sorority." I was like, "Oh shit." She was like, "Are you an anchor boy?" I was like, "What is an anchor boy? That sounds like a bottom on a gay cruise." She was like, No, anchor boy's just a sorority sweetheart. I'm like, it sounds like a bottom on a gay cruise. I also have a tattoo on my arm. The first one I got when I was 18 years old. It says, "Get busy living or get busy dying," from the movie Shawshank Redemption. Because when I was 18 years old, I thought I related to a guy who was falsely imprisoned and gang raped every day. Because I failed English and my parents grounded me. Thought I related to that. It's a dumb tattoo to have though, because the little thing about me, I don't even like being busy. Let alone having a tattoo that makes it a life or death choice. I've never woken up and been like, "Oh, what should I do today?" Oh yeah, I choose living. Such a dumb fucking tattoo. I hate it. Wish it wasn't on me forever. Matt was talking about documentaries on Netflix. I've been crushing Netflix to crush the seasonal depression, you know? One thing I started watching the Blue Planet documentary about the ocean, because I'm sick of fucking white people. That's all the other shit on Netflix. It's all just crazy white people. I wanted to watch something cool, so I started watching Blue Planet, and it has this amazing British narrator, and really cool animals. But I realized that the guy's favorite word to describe anything is the word dwarfed. There's always something bigger in the ocean than the last thing they showed you in the ocean. And he doesn't say it dwarfed, he's British. He was like, dwarfed, everything dwarfed. He's like, the humpback whale dwarfed the great red shark. I wish the dude would narrate my life, but the thing with my life is the only thing that's bigger than the last thing in my life is my hangovers. So if this guy narrated my life, it would go like, "Oh, the hangover of Thanksgiving morning dwarfed the hangover of the 5th of July. As Casey struggled to put the turkey inside of his mouth." Been watching a lot of those. When I was a kid, though, growing up, 2 things I watched more than anything were pro wrestling and porn. And I feel like that's why I grew up to be terrible at fighting and fucking. They both set really unrealistic standards about both. I'm just saying, if you try to throw a clothesline in a fight, you're going to look as dumb as if you try to do a powerbomb while you're having sex. Get someone in the tombstone position, but you're in a fight, so you forget that it's a fight. You're thinking it's porn, so you try to 69 the dude you're fighting. Anthony, your brothers are gay. That shouldn't offend you.
Weird mental image.
Yeah, well, it's there now, so deal with it. But yeah, it's funny because growing up watching pro wrestling, my friends were always like, "You know it's fucking fake, right, you nerd?" And then I grew up and in my 20s, everyone I know watches porn, and I'm like, "You know it's fake, right?" And then they still call me a nerd for calling it fake. I'm just saying, I understand that The Undertaker isn't dead, but do you understand that Phoenix Marie isn't actually a stepmom? Where to go on it? Okay, yeah, cool. I used to dabble in magic. The last magic trick I pulled off, I magically turned a Taco Bell drive-thru into a DUI checkpoint. And I know it was magic because the police report said I appeared intoxicated. And I took that, there was a puff of smoke, and I showed up like, "What's up?" That's not how it happened though. I got to the drive-thru menu, and normally I order a cheesy gordita crunch, a Crunchwrap Supreme, and a Baja Blast. But what I said was, cheesy ciabatta bun, a Lunchable, and a Baja Men Blast. And the kid in the drive-thru was like, "Did you say Baja Men like the band?" I was like, "Yo." And he was like, "All right, pull forward." And then he called the cops, which is the most responsible thing that's ever happened at a Taco Bell. I woke up to a cop shining his flashlight in my face. He was like, "Excuse me, son, have you been drinking?" Now, if you've ever been questioned by a cop, you know you want to sound really smart. So I was like, "I only had a plethora." Because plethora is the only word I know to describe an amount of something, and I got arrested immediately. There's no field sobriety test to admit to a plethora of drinks. I was immediately booked. One thing they don't tell you about getting arrested is they have to document all the tattoos that you have on your body. And another thing they don't tell you about getting arrested is you might cry. And boy, was I a crier. It's like my dog died, and I'm sitting there with my hands cuffed behind my back in a chair, and this cop is poking me with a ballpoint pen. He's like, "What's that tattoo?" And I'm like, that's a rooster with boxing gloves. My fantasy football team name is the Mighty Cox. He's like, "What about that one?" I'm like, "That's a black sheep that I got. Because I always thought I was different than the rest of my family." The cop was like, "I've arrested half your siblings. You're not any different than them." But he did know my family pretty well, so he goes, "I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to give you a ride home," which seemed cool at the time. And then as we're pulling up my dad's driveway, he looks back at me and he goes, "By the way, I want you to wake your dad up. I want to talk to him." So it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm still hammered. I go upstairs and I'm just like, "Hey, wake up. Hey, I had a nightmare." My dad's like, "You're fucking 23 years old. What do you mean a nightmare?" I'm like, "Well, remember when I was like young and innocent and cute? I got arrested." He's like, "Oh, what the fuck, DUI?" I was like, "Yeah, DUI." He's like, "All right, we're gonna talk about this in the morning." I'm like, "Hey, we can talk about it like whenever you want, but the cop's downstairs. He wants to talk to you like right now." Now watch my dad put on a bathrobe to go talk to another grown man about my behavior. It was really embarrassing. The next day, I was like, "Dad, what did you and the cop even talk about?" He goes, "Oh, we just talked about how done your tattoos are." He was like, "Officer Donnie had no idea you were an anchor boy." The worst part, though, is the next day when I looked at my bank account and I realized I got charged $10.76 for Taco Bell that I never got. It got even worse a week later when the fine came in the mail. And I realized I spent $1,336.76 on Taco Bell that I never got. But that's the price of living Moss, you know? Like most people who get a DUI, I became a teacher. Laugh. That's okay. You can laugh. Kids are fucked. It's all right. I'm a teacher. I don't get teens. I don't relate to them at all. I really don't understand about teens is they started calling everything lit, but started smoking everything electronically. Like in 10 years, they're going to be like calling everything fully charged as they spritz nicotine onto their tongue. And I hope to God I'm dead by the time everyone starts calling something so cool it sprays. You know? That shit sprays, man. It would be so fucking terrible. Hope I'm dead for it. Thing about teaching in this day and age is it's really hard because kids are exposed to everything going on in the world, and then you try to teach them just regular things and they get it all mixed up. I was teaching a language arts lesson, and I was teaching idioms. And I had a sentence on the board, and I was like, "All right, kids, the sentence says, the teacher told the students to hold their horses as they ran out of the classroom. What did the teacher mean when she said that?" And this kid from the back of the room was like, "Oh, Mr. Koptic, you assume gender." I was like, "What do you mean I assume gender?" And he goes, "You said she, but the sentence didn't specify if the teacher was a female or not." And I didn't even look behind me. I knew the woke one caught me. And there's an oncoming storm about to happen. This one kid goes, "Hey, Mr. Koptic, you're a male teacher. Why would you automatically assume the teacher's a female? Have some self-respect, dude." And then this girl was like, "Well, maybe Mr. Koptic's experiencing gender dysphoria." And then this kid walks into the bathroom and he's like, "Hey, I have dyslexia." And I'm like, "Dude, that's not the same thing. You get a different thing mixed up." And I was like, "All right, boys and girls, hold your horses." And the kid was like, "Oh, it means to oppress the enthusiasm and curiosity of young children. I get it." But I quit teaching, though. I did. I quit teaching back in the month of March. And March is not the month they expect you to quit teaching. They give you June, July, and August every year to get out. I got out early. Got out before I could get the free gun, which is a bummer. But I quit because I felt like I was being forced to teach these kids through standardized tests, and I wasn't teaching them anything of any real value. And I got into teaching because I wanted to teach kids about life. And then I realized, what better way to teach kids about life than to leave them when they least expect it. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. Have a good night, everybody.
Casey Kuftik, everybody. So, our next comic we have it's kind of special. We have an actual live woman coming to the stage. She came all the way from Pittsburgh as well. Please welcome Paige Polish Snake.
There you go. All right, I'll take it. Hi, everyone. I'm Paige Polesnak. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. And keep it going for Casey, too. What a funny guy. Doesn't he look like the kind of teacher that would punish you by giving you a back massage? And you're just like, no, I got an F. And he's like, yeah, I know. So anyway, I'm Paige Polesnak, and despite this crazy weather, a boy on his bicycle rang his bell at me on my way here. Yeah. Mama got hit on it 10 miles an hour. And he kept going. And I was just like, dude, you didn't give me a chance. But I don't usually go out with boys on bicycles, because in my mind, that just means he has a DUI, and I can't go out with him unless that bicycle has pegs on it. But a lot of things have been changing for me recently. I recently got a new job. Thank you. I have had to dye my hair back to a regular color. It used to be hot pink, and I miss it. Because when your hair is hot pink, nobody asks you what you do for a living. And I don't have to explain the difference between a cam girl and a stripper. But if I had $1 for every man who masturbated to me, I'd be able to afford a better webcam for them to watch me masturbate. And I think it's pretty weird that Jimmy John's advertises having free smells. And at a strip club, they don't. And at both places, it is rude to masturbate. And at both places, I encourage you to tip. That's nice, Erie. I know you're looking at me and you're just like, what rodeo is missing their secretary? But I know I don't look like much, but I do sell a ton of weed. Like, to a lot of people. But I sell weed to this one guy I have a huge crush on. And every other week I get to text him, hey, I've got a thing for you. He rushes over to my house and I get to smoke him up. And then he buys me drinks for the rest of the week. Kind of. I just don't know how to make the transition from drug dealer to drug dealer with benefits. Because that's all I'm really looking for. I'm a good stoner. Like, we got any potheads in the audience? We get big up for marijuana? That's cool. If you come over to my house, you'll notice that none of my faucets have their screens in them anymore. But I do what a lot of stoners do. I go to my fridge, nothing there. Go to my pantry, there's nothing there. I just lower my standards and repeat that process until I end up eating pickles. However, I am a woman who lives by herself, So I also just have a bunch of jars I can't open. So I get real desperate for a pickle. I take my jar and then go outside and I listen for a lawnmower, because you can usually find a man at the end of that rainbow to help you with your pickles. I'm the kind of stoner that will go to a house party and water all the plants. I will do any menial chore for you as long as you keep me stoned, because I love marijuana and I am nosy. I like to describe myself as kind of like a special brownie, because I am sweet. I always have some pot in me. And you won't realize you've had too much of me until it is way too late. You guys seem so friendly. I want to tell you a story about a time I made a mistake. I went to a stranger's house for a first date, like you shouldn't. And last time I told this story, I was at work. And at work, they were like, "Paige, why did you go to that stranger's house?" I was at work, so I couldn't tell them. He said we'd do shrooms. So I had to tell them something that they were thinking already. I was like, oh, I make bad decisions. I'm gonna dye my hair pink again soon. But this was a mistake, because this guy had the nerve to pull something called the naked man on me. Quick round of applause. Who knows what the naked man is out there? Okay, couple people, and the rest of you are actually the lucky ones, because I have a spiel. The naked man is when, I'll tell you, I'm getting to it, sweetheart. So the naked man is when you go to a stranger's house, you go to the bathroom, you know where I'm going with this, and then you're in the bathroom, and you're just in there, you know, rifling through his medicine cabinet. He is in the living room preparing to commit a sex crime. So you come out to his naked body. Watch out for this guy. Now this guy, I could only describe, he looked like a condom full of applesauce. Like ribbed for nobody's pleasure. And then the next thing I knew, I was taking off my shirt saying I don't usually do this kind of thing. And then in the morning, I was just like, God damn it. Ah, you stupid bitch. We didn't even get to do any shrooms. Big pop. I was doing cocaine with this guy like all night, and he asked me to eat his ass. And I was like, "Whew, man, I can't eat anything on cocaine." I was on a date with this one guy. We were having a pretty good time. We were sitting across from each other, drinking our drinks. And out of nowhere, he asks me, "So, what is it you do in the realms of giving head?" I spat my drink out, because that's what I do. And he was like, "Oh, man. I like to go on dates with big old dummies." Yes, they don't threaten me and they're easy to trick. I was on a date with this fella. He looked into my purse and he saw I had a condom in there. And he confronted me about it. He was like, "Girl, I saw that condom in your purse." And I was like, oh yeah? And he was like, yeah. You have a dick? And I was like, oh no. But on the date, I was like, fuck it. Yes. And I am going to fuck you. And we still got dessert. Anyway, that's why I only date feminists. Have you guys ever ordered so much Chinese food it triggers your passenger seatbelt alarm? Doesn't happen to me because I buckle it in. My mom has been mailing my grandfather gifts recently, which has led him to believe that his credit card has been stolen. And I'm just like, Pap, if someone stole your credit card, why are you receiving the goods? And he's just like, Paige, it's even worse than that. I think they're going for an all-out identity theft on me because they keep buying things I like. It's like, oh, that's not how we do that. It's not my favorite joke. I'll be honest with you. He's dead now, so I'm not actually looking for advice. Maybe I should take that part out. He didn't die because of the gifts, I should specify. Should we go back to drug stuff? That seemed to be going well. You guys like music festivals? You like music festivals? That's where I sell my best and most illegal drugs. Like, you can tell a guy who's selling weed because he's got a big pot leaf on his shirt. And you can tell a guy who's selling acid because he is under a tree. You can tell I'm out here. I'm just trying to corner the market. I'm selling Plan B. Because dirty fucking hippies are fucking hippies dirty. So I'm just out here, I'm selling Plan B with a shirt that says baby on board. But I add a question mark. And that's where you can find me. Yeah. A lot of things have been changing for me recently. I know I look like I can really catch a dick. But I used to go to Catholic school. Anybody else out there good at a hand job? Hey, I heard that. Alright, like us Catholic girls are about the squeezing and not the pleasing. Like, I'm like a typical Catholic girl. Like, I am kinky, but afraid. So I don't do much, but I try to look good not doing it. And like, I didn't get a lot of action back because the boys referred to the clit as Satan's doorbell. But I am the only one home. And I do not like to be ding-dong ditched. And also, who rings a doorbell with a mechanical toothbrush? Which is a really good hit in the pinch. But yeah, like, my sex ed was really bad. Like, I lost my virginity when I was 16. But I didn't figure that out till I was 19. And at that point, it just seemed like a weird conversation to have with my uncle. Okay, so people didn't like that. But that's okay, because my uncle is super hot. I mean, you have to be. He looks like my dad. I know that he loves me. You guys ever have sex dreams? I had a sex nightmare recently, where I was fucking my boss, but he had my dad's dick. And like, I know you're wondering, how did I know it was my dad's dick? You know dreams, it just felt like it. And the weirdest part is that he was crying the whole time with my mother's eyes. And I was just like, Mondays. bummer. I ate a whole calzone by myself today. That just means I can eat a whole pizza by myself if I just fold it. That's stupid. Shame on you. I blame you for that. What else do I want to talk about? I'm gonna fuck your man. Divorcee. So I know this guy is a divorcee, right? And I went over to his house for dinner. And I caught his kid trying to put a spoon into the microwave. And I was just like, whoa, little guy. Spoons go in the microwave at mommy's house. What's going on there? I think that Taylor Swift should write a song called Maybe I'm the Problem. I can't tell if that's too hacky or not. Do you guys ever, I have bipolar disorder. Did you guys ever get into a manic episode where you get that little song stuck in your head that just goes, somebody just kill me? Yeah, the song stuck in my head the other day in the shower, and suddenly I transformed into a cowboy. I put my leg up and I said, hey kid, at least you're trying. In a voice I did not recognize. And I was just like, oh my god, am I schizophrenic? And then I was like, oh my god, I asked that out loud. I only date other bipolar people because neither of us can own a gun. I like that about us. I am a lot of things, but I am not a kink shamer. I can get down with the weird stuff as much as the rest of you perverts. I was dating this one guy. He said he had something that he wanted me to wear. And I was expecting some naughty lingerie. And he gave me a butt plug with a tail. And that gave me pause. Alright. I just started dating someone new recently. Woo! No, it's nice. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to having to shower this much. But put your hands together if you're familiar with Game of Thrones. Yeah? Okay, that's a fair amount of people in a small room. So I just found out my man is not familiar with Game of Thrones because I asked him to act like Jon Snow in bed. And he opened with, ahoy, matey. And I was just like, oh my god, no. I want you to fuck me like I'm your aunt. But in the end, it turns out he was acting like Jon Snow because he knew nothing. So that's encouraging. I like to date white guys with dreadlocks because it shows that they can really commit to a mistake. That's what I'm into. Let me see what else I got to share with you guys tonight. Did I tell you about? I already told you guys that one. I'm gonna tell you one more joke and I'm gonna get out of here. Two more jokes and I'm gonna get out of here. I don't know. We'll see how this goes, shall we? Okay. All right. So I'm sad that it's not romper season anymore because I like a romper because a romper does say I am a woman. I am not afraid to be naked in a public bathroom. I really like that energy. And I'm surprised that not more men are wearing fedoras here because like I fuck dudes in fedoras like I eat ramen. Only out of desperation. And not since college. Don't you guys just hate it when you wake up at a stranger's house before them? And you have to just lay there? Like, oh my god, this guy needs to wake up and untie me. But there's as a really quick way I've learned to get myself out of some restraints. I lean into it and I just go, hey, now you're my boyfriend. And they let me go. Thank you, everybody. I've been Paige Polesnak. Have a good night.
Paige Polesnak. I got it. I got it that time. All right. Thank you guys for sticking so much with us. We have one comic left. Please welcome to the stage all the way from Dayton, Ohio, Dan Dean, everybody.
What is happening? Erie, look at you guys. What is going on? Give it up for all the comics you've seen so far tonight. They've been fantastic. They've been great. Casey, you out there? Yeah. Casey, listen. Dude. Casey, no. I feel like with just a slight modification, you can get that tattoo switched up to say get busy living or get busy crying. So Ray gets arrested, guys. Hang with me here on this one. We're going to do this thing. It's cool. It's cool. Guys, being a comedian, you got to do a lot of different things. And I've been trying to get my presence out there on the internet. And I've been doing so by doing a lot of live videos. And these live videos are real interesting. You can interact with people, just random people on the internet, and they interact with you. I've never done one of these live videos where within the first 2 minutes, somebody didn't get on there and ask me to show them my dong. No, I swear to God, it happens every single time. And sometimes it's even people I know. Right? I feel like they get drunk and get online just to troll me. Like, show us your Peter, Dan. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, just put the bottle down and go to bed. Mom, I don't need this from you. I don't need it. True story about my mom, guys. I'm about to tell you a true story. She recently sent a DNA sample into one of those ancestor websites, right? Turns out she's 98% European, 2% African. Yeah, which is pretty cool for me, because ever since I became black last year, all these fat white women won't leave me alone. It's crazy. Guys, you wouldn't even believe it. And fortunately for me, those women don't know. My dick didn't get the memo just yet. It still thinks we're white. Yeah, it thinks we might be Asian. It doesn't know. That's bad. That's a stereotype. As a comedian, I shouldn't perpetuate those stereotypes, right? But some of them are true. Some of them are. All right, for example, since I became black, guys, I can run a lot better. I can. I've been out around town doing a lot of races, 5Ks, 10Ks, no problems. Do you have some problems with the 3Ks? That's a thinker. I'm not sure you guys are going to get on board with that. I feel like 5 minutes from now, some of you are going to say, oh, yeah, I get it. Because black people and 3Ks don't really mix terribly well. See? I know. I got it. They're really greasing nurses through school these days pretty quick. I get it. But my girl's trying to be a nurse too, so I understand. It's crazy though, man. I come from a rural community. There aren't any black people around there, so everything I know about my people, I learned on TV. So I'm having like an identity crisis, you know? For example, I'm going to tell you, all right, guys, listen. I know this for sure, 100%. I have a black soul. Absolutely. It's a Kia. And that's like the whitest car you can have. So, you know, identity crisis. So I'm like, all right, I'll hip hop up my other ride a little bit. So I did. I got some spinners. Put them on my John Deere. We take it on that show, Trick My Tractor, hosted by Ludacris, Larry the Cable Guy. Do this thing. All right, guys. We're going to switch gears here. You guys aren't on board with me so far. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Get to know you a little bit so you feel comfortable with me. So I'm in the military. I've been in 6 years in the Marine Corps, 14 years in the Army. Just got back from my 3rd deployment to the Middle East. All right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You better clap, goddammit. I'm a hero. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. God damn it. Best part about being in the military, free health care. I went to the doctor not too long ago, and he told me that due to my genetics and my lifestyle, I've about a 50% chance of developing testicular cancer. So those are terrible odds. What can we do about that? He said, well, there's some preventative measures we can take. We can remove your testicles. I said, don't worry about that, Doc. I've already been married. You're on board with that one now, aren't you? Yeah. Turns out, though, after that appointment, I did have to have some surgery. And sometimes when you have a serious procedure like that, your life will flash before your eyes, you know? Well, as for me, I had a vasectomy, so millions of lives flashed before my eyes. Laughs are free, so you can laugh at that. It's fucking hilarious. It's a semen joke. Millions of lives. My job in the military, I'm in the Army now. I'm a combatives instructor. For those who might not know who that is, what that is, it's like the Army's version of UFC, mixed martial arts. So I'm teaching soldiers how to defend themselves, right? One of my soldiers came up to me in one of my classes, says to me, Sergeant Dean, I've been thinking about this a lot. What do you think would happen if I got in a fight with a bear and I put it in a rear naked choke? Do you think that would work? So I thought about it for a minute, and here's what I came up with. Yes, it would work. You could choke out a bear, but it has to be the right type of bear. Maybe like a medium-sized brown bear. That's okay, that'd be all right. Not a black bear. You can't choke out a black bear. That's a hate crime. Not a large brown bear. That's a grizzly. It's going to catch you and eat you like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant. Don't fuck with the grizzly bear. A koala? I don't know if you knew this. The chlamydia rate in koala bears is almost 90% some places. So if you want to get behind it and do anything, that's your business, but I'm not trying that shit. Some of you are looking at me going, is he serious? Is he talking about choking out a bear? And some of you are looking at me going, what the fuck is a rear naked choke, Dan? Listen, if you don't know what a rear naked choke is, why in the hell are you fighting a bear? It's clearly more skilled than you. It's going to destroy you. Probably a first round knockout. You got to go train some more, then come back and talk to me. I can do this all night, guys. Everybody come up with a type of bear. Everybody in here think of a type of bear. We're going to do this thing. Somebody tell me their type of bear. We got a polar bear. He said, listen, a polar bear is the largest apex predator on land. And you want to fight it? That's a terrible idea. I don't recommend it. What you should do is give that polar bear a Coke and a Klondike bar and go on about your business. Who else has a type of bear? A panda bear. You don't need to fight a panda bear. They're real fat and lazy. Plus, hey, you get on a panda bear's good side, might fix all your electronics and shit for you. Because they're Asian. You know, you're on board with me, right? What I'm saying? Who else? Anybody else have a type of bear?
Teddy bear.
Teddy bear, she said. So a teddy bear is not a real bear. Doesn't breathe. And so there's really no reason to try to choke it out. So the real question is not if you can choke out a teddy bear. The question is, what is a grown-ass woman doing with a teddy bear? Man, you two are together, right? You got to give it up a little bit better, man. You got to get away from that teddy bear, brother. She's doing some weird shit. Got a whole bed full of stuffed animals, don't you? House full of cats. None of that. All right. You're busting stereotypes over here. It's cool. Who else has a type of bear? Anybody? Nobody else can think of a type of bear. There are only like 8, so that's understandable. Guess I've driven that bit into the ground enough. We'll move on. We'll move on just a little bit. Are you coming up with another one?
I'm trying to remember the technical term for the bear. They have like longer hair. I thought it was like a sloth bear. No, it's a legitimate bear. They have like longer hair, longer nails, stuff. They're called like sloth bear.
A sloth bear. Slow ass bear. You can choke the shit out of a sloth bear. No problem. Absolutely no problem. And, you know, if you're into it, they got that long hair. You can give it a pull in there and do some kinky shit with a sloth bear guy.
What about one of those honey bears?
A honey bear. Nobody mentioned that. A honey bear, also known as a sun bear. You thought you were going to trip me up, didn't you? Sun bears are very small bears. Do you know how they get that honey out of there? Honey bears have up to 9-inch tongues. You heard me right. Small bear, 9-inch tongue. That bear is clearly a lover, not a fighter. You don't need to try to choke out a sun bear. You absolutely don't. Any more? Okay. That's cool. It's cool, guys.
Red panda bear.
That's not even a bear. That's not actually a bear. It's in the raccoon family. And God damn it, I hate raccoons. Those little motherfuckers are destructive. Shoot that little son of a bitch. Shoot it. No raccoon lovers in here, are there? Don't shoot a red. I think they're fucking endangered. If you're not sure if it's a raccoon or a panda, don't shoot. Let it. If you're sure it's a raccoon, shoot it. But I think red pandas might be in danger. So don't try to choke it out. That's bad. Any parents in the room? One. The rest of you are happy with your lives, right? Good for you guys. Because I myself am a parent. I have several kids. I have 5 to be exact, with 2 different women and 2 different men. That's a long story. We'll talk about that a little bit later if you want to. But man, my kids, they're great. My son, not too long ago, he got into making those little rubber band bracelets. You guys know what I'm talking about? Those little colorful bracelets that the kids make out of little tiny. She knows what I'm talking about. Here's what you may not know about those bracelets. The type of bracelet, the color that the kid's wearing, well, that tells the other kids how far they're willing to go. Yeah, sexually. I had no idea. Thought that was very interesting until my son brought home a bracelet he made for me. And it was every color in the rainbow. I said, whoa, what's going on here, man? Has your mom been running her mouth again? Because I'm not saying it's not true. I'm down to fuck, but you're not supposed to know that. Does your teacher know? Because I have a conference next week. I'll put on a tie, wear my bracelet, we'll do this thing. Turns out she did not know. And now I have a restraining order. So there's that. My son started playing baseball not too long ago, but I feel like I have it a lot better than my parents did when I was a kid. I'd run up to my dad after the game like, Dad, how'd I do? Well, son, not very well, he said. Well, you were picking dandelions in the outfield, 3 balls rolled right by you. Then you struck out twice. It's T-ball, man. How the fuck do you strike out playing T-ball? Come on. I wasn't very athletic, is what I'm saying, guys. Give me a break. I just became black. Come on. Doing homework in my house, terrible. Fucking math homework is the worst. It causes World War III every single night. Just a bunch of yelling, screaming, and cussing. Like, this is 5th grade math. Why the fuck can't you do this, man? It's like, I don't know. It wasn't like this when I was in school. Go ask your mom. Because he was the one. You guys are on board. But son's not allowed at the neighbor's house anymore. He got caught teabagging their son. Yeah, I'd love to tell you that's a joke. I'd love to. But I had to take that phone call. Turns out she walked in, found my kid's nutsack sitting right there on her son's forehead. I said, well, I apologize, but, what'd you expect, ma'am? Your kid was wearing a pink bracelet. Come on. So now you know what pink means, if you wondered.
Good callback.
I also have several little girls, including 3-year-old triplets. That's the correct response to that. Triplets, guys. Now listen, before you have kids, people will tell you they'll change your lives. And it's true. Because those little girls, they are absolutely gross. No, they're fucking... So one of them, the other day, I threw one of her toys away because I was sick of it laying around. Then for dinner we had spaghetti, and somebody threw the spaghetti away after we were done. So she walks by the garbage and sees her toy in the can covered with spaghetti. What does she do? She takes it out of the trash. Doesn't get a paper towel to wipe it off. Doesn't go to the sink to rinse the spaghetti off. No, she starts eating the spaghetti off of the toy. And I mean, she licked it clean, spotless. And when she gets done, she inspects it, makes sure it's ready to go. And what does she do? She puts it back in the garbage. She didn't give a shit about the toy. She just wanted to eat the trash spaghetti. Very next day, walks into the kitchen, sees a milk dud sitting on the floor. Picks up the milk dud, looks at it, looks at me and says, "What's this?" Before I get a chance to answer, pops it in her mouth and starts chewing. I said, "Listen, I'm all about letting kids make their own mistakes. You want to eat shit off the floor, that's your own business. But you just admitted you didn't know what that thing was. And with that particular item, you had two choices. It was either chocolate or your little sister came in here and pooped on the floor. Now you rolled the dice this time and it came up sevens, but next time you might not be so lucky. Maybe give me a chance to answer in the future." When I was telling this joke the other day, not too far from here, and a woman in the back is with her husband, and her husband yells out, "Triplets! Goddamn, that's 5 babies!" Yeah. So I said, "Yes, you're, that's right, and congratulations on your graduation from Cathedral Prep." Fantastic. So if you didn't know, guys, that's 3. Triplets are 3 children. All in one shot. God damn it. It's because, like, when I had 2, I didn't feel like I was completely committed at that point. So I'm like, fuck it, god damn it, we're doing this thing. I'm all in. But I didn't have a lot of time left. So I had to fucking repopulate the earth all in one shot. Yeah. Got a list that I found in my son's room. I'm going to read this list to you guys. It's a list of all the girls in his class he's interested in. You've heard this. First name on the list, Cindy. In parentheses, next to that, want to have sex. In parentheses, next to that, want to see vagina. Madeline, want to have sex. Want to see vagina. Lisa, mostly kiss. Want to see vagina. And this list goes on. There's like 8 or 9 names on this list. And then at the bottom, there's like an addendum, an asterisk. It says, want to stick hand in all their vaginas. Want to have sex with all of them. So I went to my son with 2 points of discussion. I said, first of all, son, you can't just go leaving your sex list laying around where anyone can find it. All right, it's one thing that I found this list. That's okay, but what if your mom would have found it? She would have come to me crying, talking about you need therapy again, and I don't need that shit. What if your teacher would have found it? What if Miss Brown would have found this note? What do you think she would have done? All right, it doesn't help anything that hers is the last name on the list. And it just says mostly kiss next to it. She's going to be scorned. You don't need that, buddy. She already has a restraining order against me. You don't need that. Second, in what situation in your life do you think this list is going to come in handy? How's that playing out in your mind? You're getting a little bit hot and heavy with Lisa over here. You get to second base, she gives you the green light to go a little bit further. But you're like, ooh. I can't remember. Hold on, let me check real quick. Lisa. Ooh. Says here mostly kiss. Sorry, I don't think we can go. So what do we do? It's on the list. I can't just change. Wait, what's this at the bottom? Want to stick hand in all their vaginas. We're good. Let's do this thing. What I'm saying is, might not work out that way for you. Maybe just keep that up here next time. You'll probably remember when the situation presents itself. You probably will. If not, just check your bracelet, see what color, and then you'll be clear to move on. Now you might think that's the end of the story. You might, but it's not. A couple weeks after that, I walk into my house. There he sits at the kitchen table with his mom, looking shitty, just giving me the stink eye, with this note in her hand. Holds it up as I walk in the door. Says, "What the fuck is this? Who is Cindy?" Yeah. So I look at my son, thinking maybe he's going to own up to it. Come help me out here. This is what he said. "I don't know what to say, Dad. You ought to know better than to leave your sex list laying around where anyone can find it." Little motherfucker, that's the last time I've been laid. I don't know if you guys can tell by my set so far, but I'm not exactly a normal guy. I'm not. I'm into some weird stuff. Got some weird fetishes, is what I'm saying, guys. I like pregnant girls. Anybody else into that? No? Maybe that's just me. All right, hear me out. Pregnant girls. You know they put out, right? That's been proven. Mm-hmm. Don't have to worry about getting them pregnant. So no condoms. I had a vasectomy anyway. That doesn't really have any effect on my life. All right, we got some yawns going on here. See if I can wake you up a little bit. Having sex with a pregnant girl is like having a threesome every time, guys. It's a lot of fun for two of us, right? For the other one, it's a lot of... And that's how it goes, typically, for me. No, I just kind of fall out. Because my girl's got a big pussy, is what I'm saying. It's cavernous. Can't. She's like, "Oh my God, are we really doing this?" I'm into pregnant girls. I'm also into midgets. One of my very best friends in the world. 2'10". We do a podcast together. It's called I Wish I Was Laughing Radio. You guys can check that out if you want. But I saw her for the first time about 5 years ago on stage at the Funny Bone in Dayton. I marched up to her after the show, got every bit of courage inside myself, and I said, "Wendy, that was great. You were hilarious. Can I please get a picture with you holding my dick? Because it will look huge in your hand." I never did get that picture. But ever since then, I've been trying to get her to go up on me. And that hadn't happened either, and maybe that's for the best. Maybe it is, because with midgets, there's some things I don't understand. Some logistical considerations, right? Say we're doing a 69. And I'm all up in that, doing my thing. What's she gonna do, lick my nipples? That might feel pretty good, but that's not my erogenous zone. I can move her down a little bit, but then I just get a mouthful of feet. And I don't have a foot fetish, guys, not even the little tiny ones. What I'm saying is, with a midget, it's not so much a 69, but it's more like a 6 to the 9th power. That's an algebra joke. They didn't like that one at Cathedral Prep. Oh, shit. Guys, before I get out of here, I want to talk to you guys about something I'm very passionate about. Some comics like to get on stage and deliver a message, and that's what I want to do. I don't want to stand up here and tell you a bunch of meaningless dick jokes. You know, I want my dick jokes to mean something. So this is what I want you to take out of this, if you take nothing away from tonight, guys. Cheesecake is not cake in any way. Guys, it has a crust like a pie. It doesn't have flour like a cake. It has filling like a pie. Goddamn right, it's served in a pie pan. It's a pie, guys. Cheese pie. Goddamn right, I have a point. It's fucking true. And I get a lot of pushback from it. But listen, you guys need to be open-minded about this. You need to. Just because somebody's always said it was a certain way doesn't mean that's the case. At one point in this country, a lot of people said something was supposed to be that way, and everybody else just went along with it. And I'm talking about slavery. So basically, if you're saying it's cheesecake, you're saying you support slavery. Don't do that. Don't support slavery, guys. That's terrible. It's terrible. And if you guys want to get on board with this, come see me after the show. We have some t-shirts. We'll get on board. We're raising cheese pie awareness, guys. It's not cake. You can't see because it's dark. We're raising cheese pie awareness. Hit me up after the show. Whatever you want to give me for them, I don't give a shit. I recently came up with a new idea for a TV series for midgets, for little people. It's a prison drama. I'm going to call it Mandarin Orange is the New Black. I don't know who's going to be in it just yet, but it's probably going to be a bunch of cuties. Some of you guys have been Krogering lately. Good for you. Good for you. Hey guys, I'm Dan D and I appreciate you. Bring the other Dan back up to the stage.
All hail cheese pie, everybody. Everybody, please give a hand up for all the comedians you saw tonight and for the Erie Movie House for letting us come here. We will be back here March 2nd with Nate Knoll from Pittsburgh and Jay Silverberg from New York City. That's right, we got a big comic from New York. No, we didn't. All right, guys, you have a good night. Drive safe. Thank you all for coming.
I'm not rushing it.
Good, because this is America. You're not rushing.
Okay, then.
Spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful job.
What an exciting time to be alive, you guys. Thanks. God, you like